Hello, Chess Alliance. My name is Blaise Hensley.
And I'm Aguilar.
And this
is Alliance Roar.
Welcome back. Today's date is Friday, April 18th. I hope you all had a great week so far.
The play Ernest is currently performing since Thursday. There will be a show at 7 p.m. on all 3 days, with one being today and tomorrow night.
And it features me in the
Blaise, you being in the show isn't the reason people want to see Ernest. Anyways, another thing that is coming up is Showtime. This yearly event features song and dance performances from LHS's most talented students. We have Cadence Scholz with a preview for it.
Then after that, we are getting close to the end of the school year, so we want to profile seniors in the building who made an impact on LHS. Our first profile is about Brycen Newberry by Hunter Clark.
One of Lawrence High's longest-standing traditions is from the choral department. It's our annual pop show called Showtime. Dr. Dunn and the LHS choir students have put in weeks of work to make Showtime 2025 amazing. I'm Cadence Scholz, and I interviewed some students to help us get excited for this year's production.
So Showtime is essentially the choir program's big variety show at the end of the year.
And we do like a show with all these modern pop songs and rock and not really choral music.
Showtime is a way for choir students to express themselves without a teacher.
And we kind of get to choose our own music, and then we audition for it to Dr. Dunn, and then he decides what goes on the show, and then he works on it with us.
I think my favorite act is That's Right, You're Not From Kansas. And it's mostly just acting and being silly on stage.
My favorite Showtime act I'm a part of this year, I would say Rumor Has It, just because it's super fun.
My favorite Showtime act is probably Misery, which is the boy band song, and it's just fun singing it and dancing.
Listen and genuinely appreciate the music that I was singing on there, and I'd go on and I'd feel all this adrenaline, and it's a thrill to be on there. It's a thrill to see others perform, and it's just wow, man. And then when you perform and you feel it and stuff, it's great.
My favorite part about Showtime is really just getting closer to the people that I sing with in choir. All that outside time when we're doing rehearsals and stuff, getting ready for Showtime, it fosters a really good environment for all of us to get closer, on a more personal level than just singing together. So.
I think people should come to Showtime to experience what a real live band can be like. I think that there's an element of music that we miss when we're not near a live band because we're so used to hearing things on the radio.
People should come to Showtime, honestly, just because it's super entertaining and we put in a lot of work. So, yeah, I think it's definitely worth your $10.
Join us April 24th, 25th, or 26th at 7 p.m. to listen to some great singing, hear a live band, and watch our choir students perform. Bring a friend, buy flowers, laugh, dance, and sing along. Between the dozens of outfit changes and many different genres of your favorite songs, you don't want to miss it. Buy tickets beforehand at Hy-Vee or buy them at the door for just $10. See you there next week for Showtime 2025.
I feel like my freshman year was more relaxed, at least when it comes to my future. I feel like senior year I was a lot more worried about where am I going after high school and what my plan is. And freshman year I was just more relaxed and not knowing what I was going to do. I think one of my biggest achievements, or at least moments, is being varsity in both track and football. I feel like that, to me, that's a big accomplishment. Other than that, that's about it. I've been doing track for 5 years now, but I've been part of the LHS track program for all 4, freshman through senior year. I think probably, it's fun. It's something I would recommend doing. You don't even have to be the best at your event to have fun in the sport. There's space for everyone there, as long as you're working hard.
My favorite moment has to be I think it was our sophomore year during the formal. Instead of going to formal, we went downtown in onesies and just ran around and had a blast. I feel like he taught me how to enjoy the things that most people would take for granted. He is just the most lovable guy, fun to be around, absolute sweetheart.
Hardworking. He is a born leader, I think. He's always the first one in, the last one out, so he leads by example. But yeah, he's a very hard worker.
Brycen's very competitive and always wants to do the best he can, and he's also just a very kind person.
My plan after high school is to go to JCCC and get my gen eds out of the way there, and then probably transfer to KU or another decent college to get my to do physical therapy.
Huh, it was cool seeing an athlete like Brycen on the line score, but I wonder what would happen if he challenged Michael in football.
Well, the next segment is about Michael challenging other athletes around LHS. Also, Kai, I bet you can't name a better classroom than room 308.
Well, a bunch of other students have their answer for that with Elise B and Kylie's segment on what is the best classroom at LHS.
What's your name?
Lakeisha.
What sport do you do?
Track and field.
What's your time on the 100-meter?
13:11.
Do you think you're gonna beat me today?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get started.
Runners, to your marks. Ready, set, go.
What's your name?
Shane Shalinsky.
What sport do you do?
I do disc.
What event are we going to be doing today?
Well, we're going to be doing disc.
How are we competing?
So we're competing in how we would compete in a meet. We each get 3 throws, and whoever has the farthest throw wins.
Okay. Do you think you're going to win?
Probably.
Well, let's get started. That's all for Michael versus LHS athletes. Back to you in the studio.
Last week, we set up a voting station and collected the opinions of some students to find the answer to one question.
I spend a lot of time here, so it makes sense to me to decorate the room just like I would decorate my home. I have a lot of pictures and art that students have given me over the years. My plants, yeah. I've had these plants since the pandemic started. I'm really proud of them. I think students like to see that teachers care about the physical environment of their room, you know. It's kind of not great when you come into a really clinically sterile classroom, I guess. It feels not that great.
Well, I wanted it to feel welcoming and inviting. I feel like having the calming atmosphere makes it a lot more comfortable for everybody. The lighting, definitely. I think it gives them a nice break from the fluorescents that are blinding, and they give people headaches, and it's just, especially when we're reading and writing and things like that, making sure it's not overwhelming too. Like, I try to be mindful of not using too much wall space and making it feel put together. I also have a bunch of like notes from my students and drawings and things like that. I call it my Shrine of Frankenstein. Yeah, I feel like that's my favorite because it's my favorite book ever. I also have the pictures of authors from like all different backgrounds, which I feel like helps students hopefully feel like they're represented in the content and the literature of my class.
Well, I personally don't like overly bright and really oppressive and blank spaces, but I really didn't want to teach in a room that was glaringly bright and with nothing on the walls. So I wanted to make this space my own permanently. I really like this little conversation pit section. I like that I can have a space that is comfortable furniture and chairs and couches and things for people to kind of feel like they are at home in some sense. I also really like my desk area over there, mostly because of the desk, the chairs, and then there's this little learning bar that I really like where students can sit and then be in direct eye contact with me and ask me questions. And well, because I teach theater and English, so much of my room is really dedicated to theater. I have an entire wall of all of the shows I've worked on since I've been at LHS. I have a wall of pictures of theater students on stage and awards that we've won. And then I chose to fill in the rest with posters of things that I liked or artwork that I found really interesting or that I thought was inspiring. Well, I think part of it is that you need to bring personality, right? I think if a student walked into this room, they would be able to figure out who I am. They could tell who I am from looking at the room. I think it's important that a student is able to identify what the vibe is of this teacher before they even speak, you know?
That's all we have time for today, Lions.
Make sure to tune into your Monday's episode.
And remember to see Airness either today or tomorrow. And remember, it's a great day to be a lion.